1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so there are two Americas in this country. Two Americas. And if you've never heard that before, I'm going to prove it to you today. I could just outright tell you that they exist, that there are two. But I'm going to show it. I'm going to prove it to you today. Let's start here. And let's roll down with all of the evidence and go through all of it. I'm going to show you pictures and videos. Look at this. They cut SNAP benefits to give billionaires tax breaks. You already see one America. You already see one America, right? Then they shut down the government because they didn't want to keep our healthcare premiums low. Two Americas. They could keep families fed with SNAP contingency funds, but they're letting it run out because that is their plan, to let SNAP run out, to gut SNAP and give all of the money to billionaires, to cut taxes for billionaires and get rid of all programs that help lower and middle class families. So we're taking wealth from the middle class and poor and we're transferring it to billionaires. Two Americas, right? You're already seeing the first one, right? You're seeing the most prominent. You're seeing the one that controls the government. You're seeing the one that runs the country. They only care about the billionaire class. They only care about the first America, but not the second. Let's go down and look at this. Donald Trump is partying with his wealthy billionaire donor friends in Florida just hours before crucial programs like SNAP, Head Start, and more expire for millions of Americans. Let's look at this party. It's only a 3-second clip, but you can already see the type of people that are there, right? Billionaires, tech oligarchs. I mean, I watched this video. I've watched other videos and pictures. And you can just see the stark difference. It's like those movies that you watch where the rich are just partying in a fancy, huge castle, and the squabble are outside picking peanuts out from the dirt and in the mud with no protection, getting rained on. And you can just see the difference, the stark differences in class. You have one America partying in the castle, and then you have the other America picking peanuts outside in the rain with no clothes on. That's the two Americas. You can see it in this video. So let's take a look at this. This is why the economy sucks. Not immigrants, not the government spending, and not welfare. These billionaires, they're giant corporations, and they're huge tax breaks. That is what's destroying this country. The second everyone realizes that, we can start fixing things. That is absolutely right. Take a look at this picture. I want you guys to focus in on this picture. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see it. What is wrong with this picture? You have government officials in a photo with the private sector, all billionaires, all CEOs and billionaires. Where's the middle class in this picture? Where is your representation? There is no representation for you because they don't serve you. They serve their billionaire donors. Don't you get that? Wake up. Don't you understand? This is the most disturbing photo. And most of you might look at this photo and say, this is completely normal because you've been desensitized. This is not normal. This is a totally twisted version of reality where you have government officials hanging out with billionaires, with the top 0.2% of the country. Where's the middle class in this photo? Where is the rest of the country? The rest of the country doesn't exist to them. Only they and the first America, the billionaire class, exist to them. The rest don't. Or you would be in this photo. You would have some form of representation in this photo, but you're not there. You don't matter. That's why. That's why you're not in this photo. That's why there's no representation from the middle class in this photo. Let's look at the second America. While they are building ballrooms and going into fancy parties with billionaires, let's see what the second America is going through. Here's the second America. Let's see what's going on outside of the gated community of the billionaire class of the first America. Let's see what's going on the outside of the gates, the squalor, the ones picking the peanuts outside of the castle.
Really an unbelievable scene here in Houston. Hundreds of people at risk of losing their SNAP benefits lined up for food. The Houston Texans are partnering with the local food bank here, prepared to feed 5,000 families. It's just a fraction of the needs that exist nationwide as the government shutdown now enters its second month. Here in Texas alone, more than 3 million people rely on these food stamps. Half of them are children. The message from the Houston Food Bank: this is a man-made emergency.
Well, the last time you saw scenes like this was during COVID, where the food banks around the country had to step up, and these super site style distributions were actually fairly common. But that was nature hitting us. This is society making a horrible mistake.
And as they urge Congress to act, right now it's neighbors helping neighbors.
What does it mean to you that you're losing your SNAP money? Well, it means a lot, working hard and trying to feed our children at home and being responsible, whatever is going on right now with the child.
That's exactly correct. Most of these people have jobs, they have families. The majority of the people that need SNAP are children, right? And so you already see the second America. The second America exists, but is not thought about by the first America. The first America doesn't think at all about you. You are not represented. They are in their fancy ballrooms. They are in having dinners together, the government officials and the billionaire class, having the most fancy, absurd, dystopian dinners while people are in breadlines. Welcome to the two America. Wakey, wakey from your sleep. If you didn't know, they are trying. See, this is the problem, is that we are too busy thinking that it's a left-right issue. It's not a left-right issue. It's a bottom-up issue. It is a rich versus poor issue, right? But they are too busy getting us to fight each other, left and right, when the problem is up and down, right? It's top versus bottom. It's billionaires and the rich versus the rest of the squabble, right? While they try and cut all of the programs that help the middle class, so we have no protections at all, and transfer all that wealth to the rich. Welcome to the new America. Welcome to the new America. There's two now, folks. There's two. Let's continue and see this, because I think he breaks it down really well. Let's see the two America dynamic.
So let me make sure I understand this right now. $100 million has been spent on Trump's golf trips. $172 million on Ice Barbie's private jets. $230 million from the DOJ to settle with Trump for having prosecuted him for committing an insurrection. $250 million for a vanity ballroom that nobody asked for. $40 billion to Argentina while our farmers suffer. $117 billion in annual tax breaks to the top 1%. And $170 billion to ICE fascists to round up Americans like Gestapo. All that is happening right now. And meanwhile, a Trump leaked memo just admitted that they don't have enough money for food stamps. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is not left versus right. This is a class war of billionaires screwing over every single one of us. Stop.
That is exactly correct. It is not a left versus right issue. Wake up, people. This is not a left versus right issue. It is a top versus the bottom. That's the issue. They have money for everything else except for you. They have money for wars. They have money for Argentina. They have money for their ballrooms. They have money for their fancy parties. They have money for their yachts. But when it comes to helping the middle class and the lower middle classes, who pay taxes, by the way, so we should use that tax money to help us, because we pay taxes, right? So why wouldn't the money be used on us? Why is it being used for tax breaks to billionaires? We pay that money. I pay taxes out of my paycheck every single time I get paid. And what are we doing with that money? We're giving it to Argentina. We're giving it to tax breaks to billionaires. We're giving it to ballroom. Just name it, and we're giving it away. But when we need something, when the middle class and the poor need it, we have no money. It's crickets. If you like this channel, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. This channel fights for the working class. We don't work for billionaires here. We fight for the working class. If that's something you believe in, please support this channel. I'll see you in the next one. Wake up.